Hi everyone, it's the Tides Changing here, and welcome to another house building video. Today I'm going to be making a house that I have named Blue Steel. This house actually took over 4 months to complete, and when you see the final result I think you can tell why. This is by far my most complex and detailed house yet, and possibly even my best house so far. When making this house, I really pushed what I could do with the constrained floor elevation fall sheet, and I love how it turned out. This house was a source of frustration at times though, because, as those of you who have used the constrained floor elevation fall sheet know, it can get a little bit frustrating at times, especially when you realize you did something completely wrong and you have to take it down and redo, which happened to me several times. That's part of why it took so long, and also there were times where I just needed to take a break from building this just because it takes a lot of concentration and work to make something like this. But like I said, I love how it turned out, and I think that all that work was worth it. Now I'm moving on to the wall colorings, and the house's name comes from the blue and gray color scheme that you see. Blue-gray would of course be an awful name, so I decided on Blue Steel, which has a nice futuristic sound to it, and I think really suits the house. I did want to mention that Mountain Oasis by Stefo Sims was a source of inspiration for this house. When I decided that I wanted to make an Into the Future themed house, I didn't want to go for the boxy moderns that you typically see. I really wanted to push what I could do, and I loved all the detailings that she put on the roof and around the house. So I tried a few of her tricks, and of course threw in some of my own as well. A few of the features on this house that I really like that you can see so far are the arches over the driveway, as well as the roof over the second floor, and I guess you could call it an arch in the front of the house, and there's actually going to be a fountain placed under that shortly. Here I'm just adding some details to the roof, and now all of the skylights are going in. I actually hadn't used these Into the Future skylights before, and now that I've used them, I think I'm going to try to use them more in the future. I just really like them, and they're just really neat to use. Here, the fountain that I mentioned earlier is going in, right under that arch. I guess that's what you can call it. I'm not exactly sure what to call it. But here you can see the driveway going underneath of the arches, and those trellises there were inspired by Stefo Sims' Mountain Oasis, and I was thinking about going for a clean modern look, but I realized I don't really do clean modern. I don't know, I just love lots of plants, so I guess this is an eco-modern look. I guess that's what it would be, with modern and all the plants. And there's just some more trellises going up there on that side, and just finishing up all of the plants there in front of the house. Here I'm moving on to the back, which is my favorite part of the yard. Here we have some columns made using windows and walls going up, and I also use the wall lights that came with the Into Future expansion pack as well to give it some extra lighting, and now I'm just putting a patio area. Here the pool is going up, and I put some of the low-lying foundation that came with the late night expansion pack next to it. There's also a TV area out back as well as a hot tub and a dining area, and I used the arches that came with the Into the Future expansion pack that can be found in the miscellaneous decorations over that. Here is just a little grilling area with a bunch of plants in it, which, is that eco-modern look. And now the side of the house is the last part of the landscaping. It contains a little fire area, as well as just some more plants and such. And something I really like about the driveway is that I use the retaining walls that came with the Into the Future expansion pack alongside of them, and you will see that in the flyover. Now I'm moving on to the interior. The area that you just saw was just a garage and exercise area. Here we have a little robot lab, you have the robot making equipment. And now I'm moving on to the main level. And something that I really like about the living room area that you will get to see in the flyover is that there's sort of an atrium, I guess is what you could call it, where I just have some plants, and I use the projector poster behind it, and I use the forest one, so I thought that was a really cool feature, so it's something to keep an eye out for during the flyover. Well, that will be all from me. I hope you'll enjoy the rest of this video.